Hey traders, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the full trading swing week. So we saw some enormous move out of the markets this week. We saw some big moves out of the Bitcoin. We saw some big moves in the NAS 100, the S&P 500 or the pound, the euro, whatever you want to talk about. We saw some big moves this week and it is even going to be more amazing this week as we are going to have some important data out of the US tomorrow, which is going to be the big one, the NFP numbers. So we will talk about all of them in this video, that what we can expect ahead of NFP and what is my plan ahead of NFP for different assets like the Bitcoin, the S&P 500, the NAS 100 or some other currency based too. We will try to cover gold too in this video. So make sure you stick with the video. Let's start the video without any further ado. So I would like to talk about the Bitcoin first here. And if we just see from a technical perspective, what we saw recently, we saw that okay, so what we saw that the bias did step in at this demand zone and bias took the control. But again, at this point, we had the ISM services PMI out of the US and we had the George Job opening out of the US, which caused the Bitcoin to start to back remove all those gains. And the same thing quite happened with the S&P 500 and the NAS 100 too. Now, some people would may ask question that why this happened, because the news out of the US was very positive. So why a good news is not a good news for the Bitcoin and maybe for the NAS 100, for the S&P 500, why a good news is not a good news. So the thing is, we have to understand that a good economy is a good news for Bitcoin or for the S&P 500 or the NAS 100. Like, what I want to say is that a good economy is a good news for risk assets. But a very good economy, the economy which is not slowing down, and when there are inflationary risk on, when you are in an interest rate cycle, interest rate sensitive cycle, then at these times a very good economy is not that much of a good news for risk assets like the Bitcoin or like the indexes. So that's why we are seeing some removal of the gains which we saw previously, gaining by these assets like the Bitcoin or like the S&P 500. Now, moving forward, analyze and let's see that what we are expecting out of the non-firm NFP numbers tomorrow. So we are expecting a 164k NFP numbers, down from a previous read of 224k, and at the same time we are expecting a 0.3% wage increase, which is down from the previous numbers, which is at 0.4k. And if we try to see, the unemployment rate is expected to stay with the equal to the previous rate. So if the data comes out like this, what we are expecting, then this can be a good read for the stocks or for the risk assets like the Bitcoin, because this can mean that the labor market is cooling down and the wages are not increasing at a larger pace anymore. So the Fed may continue to cut their interest rates, which can be a good news for the stocks and for the risk assets like the Bitcoin. Now, moving forward, what is my plan and in which positions I'm currently in. So if we just try to talk about the pound, I have currently a position in the pound and I am in some shorts, and I would like to see some beat by expectations by the NFP numbers. And if we do actually see it, I think that we can see more downside for the pound. Overall, even if we don't see that, then still the US economy is quite strong than the its European counterparts, which is weighing on the pound, and due to this, we are seeing such corrective moves in the pound. So I am very much keen to the downside for the pound, or even if we talk about the euro, then I am very much looking for the downside on all these assets. Uh, there's nothing to talk about mainly on that, so we will just shift to S&P 500 and we will see that what we can get out of this ahead of NFP. So, and if we see the current market age of the S&P 500, then we can see that S&P 500 is trading at this demand zone and at this supply zone, you can say. So we are just in this range and we are just consolidating. S&P 500 is not even able to touch these all-time highs recently, even after the good data out of the US, and the reasons I just explained you why. So what I am seeing, watching for the NFP, and I'm still bullish on the S&P 500, and I still think that we have a lot of room to the upside, and I think that this uptrend is still very much intact, and we can very well continue to see some moves like this on the S&P 500. But before that, I think that if you get a skyrocketing NFP, if you get a good beat by the expectations by the NFP numbers, then we can very well see this demand zone being reached by the S&P 500. and I am eyeing at this levels. And if we actually see the S&P 500 reaching at these levels, then I will be looking for continuation of buys. So I am what I mean by this is, if the NFP actually beats the expectations by a good margin, then I will be using it as a catalyst for the stocks to go down and give me better entries to buy at some better demand zones with a good risk to reward. So this is my whole gaming plan for the NFP coming ahead. For the NAS 100, I have the same plan. I have marked this area, this demand zone and this demand zone, and I'm just simply waiting for the NFP numbers, and I'm waiting for what the NFP numbers will be. Obviously, if I'm wrong and if the NFP numbers miss the expectations, then we will see what to do. But for now, we are expecting a meet or beat by the of expectations by the NFP number. So I'm planning myself according to that. So if we reach at this demand zone, then I will be very much interested in the NAS 100 continuation of buyers, because the stock market's uptrend is very much intact still, and we can very well see all these moves continue, because the Trump is coming as a president in the upcoming days, and he will be handling the office, and he is a pro-America person, so his policies are going to favor very much assets like the S&P 500, the NAS 100, or the Bitcoin too. So he is a pro-crypto and pro-America president, which can very well benefit stuff like this or assets like this. So that's why I'm bullish on them, and overall the fundamental factors are quite bullish for them. I'm just waiting for NFP to act as a catalyst to bring the stocks down and then give me some better buy entries. And if we see that the Bitcoin, I'm very much interested in Bitcoin loans and I'm planning to enter them too. I'm just waiting for them, waiting for some better level. So this is going to be a good level, and I am waiting for this level to reach. And if we actually reach the 88K level, then I will be very much interested in the longs. And obviously, again, I'm going to use NFP as a catalyst to just bring this down and then start continuing its uptrend and like break all those highs. So talking about, we have already talked about the pound, and if we see the euro is going to be interesting. I have shared my analysis previously in my Telegram channel, and for those of you who don't know, my Telegram channel is totally free, and I share my trade ideas and market updates in the Telegram channel. And this was one of the updates that I shared with them when this green candle was being printed. So I shared them my update and the analysis, and we can very well see that we have seen three big red candles out of that after I posted my analysis. So I will drop the link in description. If you want some free resources, free stuff, then you can surely join that. So if I just remove them, or let's just keep them and talk about. So the story for the Euro USD is going to be the quite same as for the Pound USD. The thing is that the Europeans are struggling. The European as a whole continent, they are struggling with their economy. Okay, and also the European counterparts the Europeans are expected to cut their interest rates at a faster pace than the Fed. So this is going to be the European central banks, and this is going to be the Fed. So Fed is expected to keep a steady approach, while while the Europeans are expected to keep a fast approach. So that's why we can very well see that this downtrend in Euro USD continue, and we can very well see some lower lows continue being formed. And also my target for 2025 on Euro USD, I will just tell you this, my target for Euro USD is the parity level. I'm assuming, I hope that we can reach these levels by the end of 2025. Talking about the gold is actually very much surprising these days. And what surprised me the most, that even after a strong dollar, even after rising yields, even like everything is against the gold. There are no major uncertainties in the world, but still we are seeing this uptrend in gold continue, and it's just like continue to hold the support levels, and it's continuously breaking some resistance areas. And the thing is, with tomorrow's NFP numbers, can we actually break this resistance area? This is going to be a very important thing for the NFP numbers ahead. And if there's a miss by expectations in the NFP numbers, then this can very well favor the story of the gold, and we can very well see a ginormous move by gold. So for now, technically and fundamentally, I'm not interested in gold, in trading gold. I'm just looking for it to break either way, either break like this or either break like this. But unless and until it doesn't do this, then I'm not interested in trading gold at all, because technically and fundamentally it's very mixed. But with tomorrow's NFP numbers, we might get a fundamental direction, and we might start trading gold again. So yeah, this was pretty much it, and we have covered. I have tried to cover all the asset classes and tried to give my analysis and my reasoning behind the trades which I'm going to take, or which I'm interested in, or which I'm looking at. So if you like the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button, and make sure that you press the bell icon too.